The devil does not have the keys to anything. Instead, he uses pans, bowls, and fences, and philosophies that come from materialistic men. He's in the abyss. He's the source of evil, but he does not have the keys. However, he wishes for you to think that he does, and that there is a balance between light and dark. The dark exists, but the light dominates. It's another way to look at the Light Temple philosophy. We want the true food, not GMOs. The true champions in martial arts, not some charlatan liars. The truth in the news. When we talk to somebody on the internet, we don't want to be catfished. We want the truth, not the great deceiver, his white lies, or his dark ones. So there is an emphasis on the truth no matter how bad it makes us look. And our clothes symbolize freedom as a result of telling the truth. Therefore, light-colored clothing, white clothing, symbolizes spiritual nakedness, not nakedness of the flesh. That is something desired by those who are materialistic and worldly. That is an abomination. Speaking of abomination, when the 6 meets the 7, what happens? Let's see, the light comes. Wrestling among Biafrans could be used as a form of conflict resolution. Such wrestling can be viewed in a continuum of combat forms among the Igbo. The most dangerous was Agha, or Ogu, Egbu, Ibi, Isi, in which machete blades, firearms, and even spiritual weapons were used. Such weapons were prohibited in the more frequent Ogu, Akpiri, between groups thought to be related. Wrestlings could be seen as the safest form of conflict. The importance of the practice in this continuum was the fact that drawing blood of a relative or clan member was an abomination against Anna, the Earth Mother. Although the ideal in Ogu, Akpiri, was to limit injury, occasionally bloodshed and death occurred. So, when one is spiritually naked, they do not want to get dirty. They want to be clean, even in combat. Putting on gloves symbolizes warmth, comfort, and cleanliness. It is symbolic of handling something with care, and so on. So when you put it into context, into human context, traditional context, and understand the ceremonies within the martial arts systems, you see that light contact must be applied masterfully when one considers the form of conflict resolution, especially if one traces it back to the source of martial arts. Martial arts, like humanity, started with something pure, and thus I accept the term martial arts only because it has become unclean because of Babylonian systems, the same systems of thought that infected Rome. Where was the Temple of Baal? The Eastern Roman Empire? Byzantines? Constantinople? What were these places? What went on there? What kind of people? Were they not influenced by Babylon and their pagan thought? Did they not have detestable Babylonian practices which were incorporated into the Colosseum? The gladiator matches. Slavery was used by pagans long before it was ever used by Christians. And the esoterics know that. Why? Because they look at the original meaning of something. They know the source of evil is their very pagan schools of thought that corrupted Judaism and seek to corrupt Christian empires to this day. They didn't ask themselves, for instance, how long would it take before someone calls us on our bullshit? Or perhaps we do not understand humans well enough to make such a pompous presumptuous, pretentious decision. You were struck down for your contempt, your insubordination, and your inconceivably wicked ways. And now this action to conceal your wicked deeds under the clothing, the sheep's clothing of a man that walks in the light? No, we have been watching. We have been skywalking. Watching from that perspective, while you have been watching as serpents and dragons. What is a flying serpent? It is a dragon. The only reason you have wings, so to speak, is because the Lord thy God allowed it to be. He allowed you wings of this world so that you could see more clearly with a perspective, with a lens of this world. But the heart, God Almighty, are together. Your heart is more with this world. It's not in the right place. Your mind is not in the right place. Your soul and your body. Free yourself from your spiritual abyss. Free yourself from your personal prison, your darkness, your evil. Be a man of God. The people in charge are Nazi sympathizers. I, however, symbolize and sympathize light. I sympathize with the light temple, and I symbolize victory. Da! 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 It is an abomination. Aha! You might ask yourself on page 67, if you apply the silent G, because I don't know how to say it, to agha, line 3, bottom paragraph. The most dangerous was agha, or aha! Hara, ahara, a hair. What do you get? You get happiness. Ahapa, happy. Aha. Harkata, her cat. Sakamat, the mat. Ma'ata, harkata, the bunny rabbit. Her pussy. It's an interesting thought. That's one way to look at it. Then again, these things are all connected. It's only when one focuses on one thing or another do they miss the bigger picture. But when you see the source of the light, that is what the light temple does. We focus on the source. When you see the source of the light, then you may understand from the highest perspective. That is your true potential. The limit of man only comes when he approaches the true light, and he can only break that limit through God. So no matter how you slice it, wisdom can only be found with people like me, not with rich oppressors. So I've given a lot of money away, and I'm going to make myself poor for a time, even if my family is rich, so that I may shed these materialistic urges that we all have, my personal demons, my temptations.